Well, California XXL this ain't. So, what is it? It's a Volkswagen Crafter that's been converted into a campervan. The Crafter is made in Poland and the conversion is also Polish made. So, I won't be telling you this is the best campervan I've ever vacationed in. This is a sort of show concept car that Volkswagen trucks, vans, whatever they're called, in Poland, ordered from a Polish company, and, well, the Polish company obliged. They installed everything according to specification. I just think that whoever specified this car went kind of overboard with things, and this car could have been more usable, but, you know, everything fit into a Volkswagen Crafter. Almost. Okay, so as I said in the beginning, this is a custom job and it's been commissioned to look like this by Volkswagen Vans Poland. So it is what it is. Now, this here is called apparently a garage. Why is it called a garage? Because it fits 3 bicycles. And I get it. You know, you're traveling. This is a big car. When you arrive at a camping site, chances are you're going to park and you're not going to move too much for the next couple of days. So you need to have your bicycles. And you don't want to have them outside, because outside expensive bikes can get stolen, they're exposed to the weather, etc. So you can keep them here. And again, I respect that this is how they ordered it and this is how they got it. Apparently many clients buying a regular California are asking about their bicycle mounting solutions, and Volkswagen Vans Poland wanted to show that this is possible. Now, I would probably rather drop this bed by 10 or 20 centimeters, because there's only 70 centimeters up there, and I would probably make some sort of sliding drawers and things like that from here and from the other side to make better use of the space. And also I would probably install bigger water tanks, because the tanks here, that's 2 showers in the morning, 2 showers in the evening, and you're good to tank again. And similarly with grey water, you have to drain it quite quickly as well. So for me, this here is not an ideal solution, but you could arrange it differently and make it better. Okay, so this is our shower and bathroom, something that many of you may be interested in, even though you don't want to admit it. But I'm going to tell you anyway. So this is tiny. This is really tiny, like sort of mid-size house fridge tiny. Taking a shower here is not that much of a problem, surprisingly enough. It's the number 2s that are a bit awkward. First of all, after a shower, all this is wet, and secondly, this toilet is slightly too high, even for someone who's 175 centimeters tall, so I don't have good support from my feet. And as it's very cramped inside, during number 2s, it's, sorry to be so forthcoming, it's difficult to spread one's cheeks. So it's better to use the campsite facilities. So I'm sure some of you more seasoned campers out there know this. Those who don't, this here is our toilet, and you have to pull this out, take it and drain it in a designated camping area. Later on you fill it with this chemical thing, splash a bit of water, and you're good to go. Now, how much does it fit? After about 2-3 days in the camper, we filled it halfway, and we haven't used it too much. Mainly for number 1s, not for number 2s. So, not a big fan. I think I'd rather have a regular California without a toilet than just use camping sites. This is our kitchen. We have a sink, we have a 2-burner stove. It's gas powered, and the gas canister is down here in this cabinet, which is very difficult to reach, especially that my feet are down there. There are a couple of drawers here which are actually very good, but you can't see them. I'll show them to you in a cutaway. An extension of this table is here, and there are also cabinets, which, as you can see, there is very little room here for your head. But yeah, these are our cabinets, and yeah, when one of these is open, not much space. Now, again, I understand this is a regular crafter and everything had to fit here. This is how it was specified and this is how it was made. I'm just wondering whether this specification isn't a bit too much for this small a space. You tell me. This Volkswagen Crafter is 2.8 meters high on the outside, and inside from floor to ceiling it's 180 centimeters, making this okay for me. Now, there is a window here, a skylight, one of two, the other one is in the bathroom, and it either has a sort of blackout blind or it has a bug net. Now, yesterday we forgot to close all the bug nets and we had some bugs inside, so now I'm gonna open this skylight to let some more fresh air in and to let some of the bugs out. By the way, I think they're attracted to these LEDs, rather white than blue. The blue looks like an IT technician's wet dream. This is our command center. Now, this is an indication of how's the battery after about 12 hours, and it's not looking good. This is our clean water tank. We filled up yesterday when we came here. This is after a shower for me and Anna, a very quick one, and after some cooking, so we needed some water for cooking. Now, this is our gray water tank. It's 50% full. Again, we drained it here when we came here, so it shows 50%, but it's probably more because this thing shows only the gray water tank under the shower, but it doesn't show the sink tank, which is on the other side. And yeah, so this is our heating, Webasto, very effective, good on chilly nights. I don't think it actually came on today at night, maybe early in the morning. This is our water heater, and again, after using it last night to heat up the water for the shower and to sort of rinse the dishes, because we're gonna have to wash them in the facility here at the campsite anyway. All this drained batteries significantly. Now, we have a solar panel on the roof, and this shows something to do with this solar power. I have no clue what it's showing, but yeah, we have solar power and hopefully we're regaining some energy as we speak. Okay, so me and Anna just had breakfast and we were talking about what exactly is wrong with this car, because something's off. We couldn't place it. We loved the California because in the California, despite it being smaller, same thing with the Mercedes-Benz Marco Polo, you have a retractable, unfoldable, whatever you want to call it, roof, which becomes your sleeping area. And if you don't need your sleeping area, you can always raise the bed, and then you have a lot of space underneath where you can stand, even walk. And even with the kitchen on the side, there is still a nice square space where you can move, where you can open up a table, close a table, sit in 4 people comfortably, have a chat, have a drink, and it's just a very well designed space. In this car, a third of this space is permanently occupied by the bed and by the garage, which, okay, if you use it for the bikes, it's useful, but if you don't use it for the bikes, you just keep your, I don't know, dirty shoes and dirty undies in there. This is just a lot of wasted space, which is here permanently, and you can't do anything about it. And it just extends the car by so much. Then another third is occupied by the kitchen and by the hardly usable shower and toilet. These are just emergency solutions because, okay, like on this campsite we are now camping without electricity and without water because we wanted to have a nice view. Under normal circumstances we would camp a couple of rows back that way and we would have permanent water and electricity connection, and then I wouldn't have to use the camp showers, which in case of this camping site are not very well thought out, but that's a different story. So for me this is more of an emergency solution which uses a lot of space, so much space in fact for this car that I'm not sure if I would really want to put it here. And then it's very narrow here. And then you have the third part of the car, which is the passenger compartment, where you have these two barely usable seats in the back and two very comfortable seats in the front for the driver and for the passenger, which leads me to the conclusion that this being a crafter, basically a panel van, a workman's van, the best places in this car are in the front for the driver and for the passenger, because this is a van, not a camper van. California, much better car. This conversion, I would have done it differently. So how is it to drive? Well, it's pretty much like any other Volkswagen when you look at it. It looks more or less like my parents' Tiguan, I think, here from inside the cabin. The older Tiguan with classic round dials, etc. This is a 2-liter 170 horsepower diesel, which takes AdBlue, 6-speed manual gearbox. It's got lane assist, it's got adaptive cruise control, it's got crosswind assist, which is very important because this is a big car, and as it is a big car, there is considerable amount of wind noise, especially today because it's very windy, and also as you go faster it gets loud. So for example, yesterday we were driving about 120 kilometers per hour on the motorway, and at the end of the day me and Anna had a bit of a sore throat because we had to keep our voices up to be able to communicate inside, so it is quite loud. What I love are these seats with air suspension, like on a truck. They're very comfortable, and because they're very comfortable, I could drive a crafter with these seats, not necessarily a crafter camper van, for a very long time. So you don't feel tired. There is no back pain or anything like that. You've got your captain armrests here and things like that. Really cool. However, because of this air suspension, the seats are a bit higher, and because they are a bit higher, Anna can't reach the pedals, so she can't really drive this car maybe on a side road where she doesn't have to change gears too often. So that's a bit of a problem. One thing you may notice is this dial here, and this dial here shows you air pressure in the rear suspension. You can adjust rear suspension to compensate for terrain, so that you don't sleep with your head down. Your head is always level or up. Visibility is okay. There is a rear view mirror, but there is no rear view mirror because you can't see anything, so you can either see your kids or the mess which is in the bed in the back. And this is, fuel economy. One more thing, you might want to know that 10 liters per 100 kilometers up to about 120 kilometers per hour. If you go any faster, you're looking at 11, 12. Again, aerodynamics come into play. I don't want this to sound like I'm complaining all the time, because these are not my complaints. These are just my observations. I'm sure there are many of you who are seasoned camper vanner, going caravanist, whatever you want to call yourselves, and you shouldn't be watching this in the first place. But At the same time, there are those of you who are maybe thinking about renting or buying or specifying one of these for yourselves, and these are just my general thoughts about what a camper van should, from my perspective, look like. Now, this one is a 2+1, so 2 adults in the back and 1 smallish kid here. Why smallish kid here? So this is a place where a table should be. However, I threw this table out into the garage because it just occupied too much space. You couldn't really move around here. So the table would be mounted to this rail here, and it would go up to here about. So that's absolutely useless. And then you would detach piece of the leg, part of the leg, and drop it to this rail down here. Then you would take one of these cushions and put it there, and then you would do this. So not exactly a lot of space. So really, it's for a kid. Apparently kids are very comfortable here and they love it, but again, not much space to move around. This is all very narrow. The what's it called? The galley or the corridor or whatever. Very narrow indeed. There is also not much storage space because this car has been specified with a toilet, with a shower. There's just not much space. This is a regular Volkswagen Crafter without a widened body. This is the standard body as it comes out from the factory, and it's then been modified to fit everything inside. But this has some shortcomings, like for example the storage here. These cabinets here, very narrow. I would probably want to have some sort of a wardrobe just to, you know, hang my t-shirts, because otherwise I have to roll them to fit inside. And yeah, some of the clothes, usually the dirty clothes, have to travel inside the boot, inside the garage. What else? I would probably want to rearrange this to have a bit more space, a bit more width. Maybe this could be extended outside. I don't know. And this is a question for you guys. If you're thinking about a camper van, about renting one, about buying one, about making one by yourselves, what would you like to see inside? Would you like this camper van to be a camper van for 2 or 2+2, or, you know, would you like to sleep upstairs like in a regular California, or would you like a bed over the garage like here? What would you like? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.